How to read 4 books a month, easy. So first off, when I tell you how to do this, how I do it, you need to understand when I was in school, I was told that I have a reading and writing disability, meaning I'm bad at reading and I'm bad at writing. But I realized when I was in school that I don't have a reading or writing disability. I'm just lazy. I didn't have a strong enough reason to actually read a book. Now, this is not my answer for other people who, if you do have a disability, I'm not going to say to you, you need to realize that you don't have a disability. No, if you have a disability, that's a different problem. For me, I don't think I did. So the first step, I would say, in being able to read 4 books a month is find a strong enough reason to. When I was in school, we're reading novels. I'm not a guy who's into novels. So the point is here, this is not for people who are interested in reading novels. This is for people who are interested in reading like business books and self-development. Because when it comes to education, education can be kind of boring, especially when it comes to developing your character, your mind, learning about business or marketing. It can be kind of boring. It's not stimulating how it would be reading a novel or watching a movie or playing a video game. Some people read a novel as a hobby, but it's hard to be in the world of business as a hobby. So you have to find a strong enough reason. For me, I feel like I have a purpose. Well, I don't feel like, I know I have a purpose in life. Let me make that clear. And I have a vision. I want to impact people's lives. And that's not a joke, not to sound cliche. I actually want to impact people. But how do I impact people? Well, I need to become a better version of myself and get wisdom from people who have done things similar to what I want to do. And the best way to do that is read a book, because I'm not going to be able to sit in the same room with people. I might have to pay to sit in the same room as somebody who's super successful. And I don't have the money. So then what do? I buy their book, because they spent 20, 30, 40 years learning a specific topic. It's all in their head. And then they put it down on a piece of paper, a book, and then you can just go buy it. And so rather than spending $1 million to sit down next to them and have a conversation with them, you can spend 10, 14 bucks on Amazon to get their knowledge and wisdom. So that's number one. First, find a strong enough reason to read a book, a purpose, a vision. The second way to read 4 books a month, 4 to 5 books a month, is to actually set aside the time. Now, again, I've heard it said that the average CEO or executive of a company reads 4 to 5 books a month. And how do you do that being somebody who's really busy? If you're a CEO, entrepreneur, business person, whatever, you have to schedule a time to actually read. So what I recommend for people, I would say set aside an hour of your time, but that could be a lot for some people. And I tried to do that, but then you kind of get burned out if you're not someone who typically reads a book. So what I did, I saw some guy talk about this one time, but he said, set aside 10 minutes, just 10 minutes. Wake up in the morning, drink your cup of coffee, whatever you do, but 10 minutes a day of reading a book. And laser focus, put your phone to the side, just 10 minutes. And as you start getting through 10 minutes, you're probably not going to read 4 books a month, 10 minutes a day, unless you're a really fast reader, okay? But 10 minutes is enough to actually get you started in the habit of reading a book. So set aside the time, build a new habit of reading, right? So 10 minutes, but then as you get into the habit of doing that, increase it to 15 minutes. And then, because you'll find yourself reading in 10 minutes, you'll be like, okay, I'm not finished with this chapter. It takes longer than 10 minutes. So you're already in the middle of it, so you kind of feel like you need to finish it. So next thing you know, you finished the whole chapter, or more than what you were expected. Increase it to 15, 20, 30 minutes. And eventually you'll probably get to an hour, or maybe you set aside 30 minutes in the morning and then 30 minutes at the end of the day. All right. Step number 3 on how to read 4 books a month. Easy. Step 3, learn how to speed read. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, like, is that even possible to learn how to read faster? Because it's hard to comprehend reading fast and actually being able to comprehend the information if you're reading fast. And I'm not talking about skimming through a book. Like, I'm not talking about, oh, if you just skim through it, that counts as reading. No, I'm talking about almost skimming, but actually comprehending the information. So here's what I did. I bought a book called Speed Reading. I might put the link in the description, but just to give you a sum of what I learned from the author, basically when you're reading, whatever the topic is of the book that you're about to read, try to understand the concepts first before you read. Because if you read a book for the first time and you don't know anything about the subject, the whole time as you're reading, you're going to be trying to figure out what this word means and the definition of that word and the definition of this word. But if you understand the concept, by the time you see a word that you probably might have not understood, well, at least you understand the concept, so you will naturally be able to read faster because your brain will kind of just put the pieces together like, oh, this is what this means because of something said earlier. So understand the concept. And then as you're reading, think of it like this. Your mind moves faster than your mouth. I have to be able to think faster than I'm able to talk. Otherwise, I'll be stuttering a lot. Or kind of like if someone throws a football at you and they say, think fast. Maybe you saw it coming, but your body didn't react fast enough. You saw it coming. You knew that it was going to hit you. So instead of catching it, you kind of flinch. But you saw it coming before your body was able to react fast enough. Or if you're driving a car, you're driving on the street, your mind, you're catching so much information, so much data all at once. You see the stop sign, the street lights, you see other cars to the left, to the right, in front of you. You have your foot on the gas pedal, foot on the brake. You're changing lanes. You're doing so much. Your brain is processing so much information all at once. Why is it hard for you to read a book when all you're doing is just focusing on one line, one sentence at a time? Why is it so hard? Well, I think it's because we've been taught to read slow. We've been taught to read with that little voice in your head that reads as you're reading. I don't know if everybody experiences this, but I do. It's like as you're reading, you have a voice in your head that's reading with you as you're going. And then you're voicing one word at a time. And some people try to read with their mouth, and that slows them down. You need to be able to see information rather than speak it with your mouth. Just see it in the same way that you're driving on the street. You're not saying to yourself, red light, green, oh, go. You're not doing that. You just go, right? Because you know automatically green means go, red means stop. You need to do the same thing when you're looking at information. You can see an image and almost like taking screenshots. So I would say just practice it. It takes time. And the author says that it takes around, 8 weeks or something like that, six to 8 weeks to actually get into the habit of speed reading. So that's what I do. As I'm reading information, I'm kind of skimming through it, but I'm trying to pick up the words just with my visual rather than audio in my head. Catch it with your visual, not with the audio. If you need to know more about what I mean by all this, feel free to contact me. Quick question. Did you actually get something out of this? If you did, subscribe right now, hit the like button, and comment. And also, I'm an illusionist, a magician, a trickster. I upload illusion videos as well. So check those videos out. I'll probably leave one in the description or on the screen, something like that. Dude, check out my art. Performing arts. All right, y'all have a great one.